for you. This is News 4 Tucson, live at 10.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. I'm Nick Vinze.
And I'm Aliyah Shahid. It was a night of dancing and festivities for some local teenagers, all designed to give them and their families a little break from the fight of their lives.
News 4 Tucson's Eric Fink has our story. It's new at 10.
It's prom night for cancer patients. On this dance floor, these teenagers are trying to forget about their struggles, if only for an hour.
Getting out of bed in the morning was a little harder for me. Like, I'd get colds and stuff back then and it was nothing, and now it's, if I get a fever, I have to go to the hospital.
Ironwood Ridge High School senior Ryan Vogel has leukemia. He was diagnosed as a freshman. Cancer in his blood and bones.
As a kid, I kind of thought I was immortal, thinking I could live forever, but it's kind of eye-opening seeing your own mortality that young.
Ryan says when he's here, dancing alongside others who are also battling, he feels comfortable.
It kind of makes me feel part of a community, like these are people just like me going through what I'm going through, and that's pretty amazing that we're all together and kind of sharing our stories.
Beverly Tidwell is one of the organizers for this 14th annual prom, this year with a Paris theme. Beverly lost her 11-year-old son William to a brain tumor 19 years ago. As a mom who's been there with her child, she hopes tonight these kids can escape the challenges of cancer and live in the moment.
It's a reminder that life can be short, that it's time to really seize the moment and enjoy the here and now and understand that the future will take care of itself.
Ryan is trying to do just that. Every night he takes a chemo pill, and every month he's at the hospital getting injections. And it's working for now. He's in remission, and he's even thinking about after that final chemo day.
I want to go jump on a trampoline for sure. My knees can't really do that, but that's just been something I kind of miss. I used to do that with my siblings.
And he credits his support system at home for helping him brave this fight.
You can't do it alone. You need your family, you need your loved ones, and that's what got me through it.
Ryan's chemo treatments are expected to end this summer, and then it's off to the U of A, where he wants to major in biology. On the east side, I'm Eric Fink, News 4 Tucson.
A motorcyclist is in the hospital after a collision earlier this evening on the west side. Police say the crash happened near Silver Bell and Gorette. The man was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. The other driver remains on the scene and is cooperating with police.
A suspect has now been charged with kidnapping and killing a 21-year-old University of South Carolina student. Police say 24-year-old Nathaniel David Rowland abducted and killed Samantha Josephson. Josephson was last seen on Friday leaving a popular college bar. Officials believe Josephson thought Rowland was her Uber driver. Josephson's body has been found. Rowland was arrested near the bar where Josephson was last seen.
Authorities say some former Southwest Key workers will not face charges after video surfaced of them dragging and shoving migrant children. Prosecutors in Maricopa County say there's no reasonable likelihood of proving the employees committed a crime at the now shut down Hacienda del Sol facility outside of Phoenix. Prosecutors also said that none of the children received physical injuries and there was no evidence of intent to injure them. This all happened back in September. Shelter officials did report the incident to local and federal authorities.
Trump is once again focusing on the southern border, which is now seeing an unprecedented number of migrant families crossing into the United States. The president has called the situation a national emergency, and his latest threat to shut down the border also came with another proposal cutting off all aid to Central America.
The race for president is already sprinting along the southern border. Today in El Paso, Democrat Beto O'Rourke praising his hometown's immigrant culture with an implicit criticism of President Trump's immigration policies.
Let's make sure that we never take another child from another mother at their most desperate and vulnerable moment.
At an Iowa forum for Democratic candidates,
Hey, y'all.
Julian Castro, once mayor of San Antonio, Texas, offered his prescription.
We can have a secure border and also be compassionate.
In South Carolina today, Vice President Mike Pence brought along border politics, claiming a worsening crisis as he helped Trump ally Lindsey Graham kick off his Senate re-election campaign.
Democrats call that a manufactured crisis. But the only thing manufactured is their outrage.
During his weekend stay here in Florida, President Trump is wielding power as leverage over countries to the south.
I've ended payments to Guatemala, to Honduras, and to El Salvador. No money goes there anymore.
The State Department said in a statement, "We are carrying out the president's direction." Swift criticism from Democratic leaders on Capitol Hill, calling the proposed cuts entirely counterproductive. The president's ire is also aimed at Mexico, with a renewed threat to lock down the southern border.
So there's a very good likelihood that I'll be closing the border next week, and that'll be just fine with me.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for making us part of your evening hours. 63 degrees right now outside of the airport. The winds are very calm, only 7 miles an hour coming out of the west. Current temps across Metro Tucson: 64 Santa Rita, 63 Davis-Monthan, 58 on the east side, 66 over in Midtown. Santa Cruz and Cochise County, 53 in Nogales, 58 Sierra Vista, 52 over in Bisbee, 60 degrees in Benson. So we're seeing a little bit of cloud coverage here and there, mainly near Phoenix. But right here in Tucson, we are just seeing those dry coverage continue throughout the evening hours. So tomorrow we're going to see a high of 81 degrees, and just depending on where you live, 49 for the high in the mountains. Santa Cruz County, 78. Also in Cochise County will be in the 70s. But there is a lot of weather happening north and east of us. Will that bring us rain here in Tucson? We'll talk about it coming up in a few minutes. Nick, Aaliyah?
All right, thanks, Allie. Dozens of riders took to the streets of Tucson today to raise money for a Marana police detective who is battling brain cancer. News 4 Tucson's Danelle Confair has more on how the community is rallying around him and his family.
It's